Hello stock gurus and welcome to another episode. Today is the 25th of March. We're going to be looking at Amazon. The ticker is AMZN. I'm going to do technical analysis we're going to go really on a journey for Amazon. We're going to look at the technicals for the next few months, the next few weeks, and for today's trading day, the 25th of March, Thursday, what is going to happen to the price of Amazon. I've got 3 exact targets, so make sure to watch through that. I'm very bullish Amazon. In the beginning of the video, I'm not so bullish. As we're doing the technicals, it is showing that it could have some slight fluctuations and movements, but then as we go into the fundamentals and I look at the financials of Amazon, they just are unbelievable. Amazon had made the most money, the most sales, the most revenues of any company that I've analyzed on this channel in the last 11 months, daily videos on this channel. Amazon made the most money of any company in 2020 during COVID. $387 billion they made in sales in 1 year. Absolutely amazing. That's dwarfing Apple's sales at $280 billion. Amazon did $380 billion. So I'm very bullish Amazon. So we're going to go through the technicals. Then we're going to go into my Twitter. We'll look at the real world news of Amazon, any major news that's going to come out. Then we're going to go into my broker, Charles Schwab, which I teach you how to do in the Stock Room Masterclass. In my broker, we're going to go and look at the financials of Amazon, their revenues, their sales, their profit margins. And we're going to combine technical analysis and fundamental analysis combined to try and get the valuation of Amazon and my exact targets. And I am very bullish Amazon after doing this analysis. So join me. Let's go through together and we're going to see this. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is James. I was an early investor in some of the big tech companies. I've been investing for 17 years in the stock market, in Forex markets, and in cryptocurrencies. I was an early investor in Bitcoin. If you've been following, I've nearly have 40,000 subscribers on this channel. We're around 39,200 investors. I would love you to join us and become one of the stock gurus. Hit the subscribe button, the bell, and the thumbs up button so you're notified of these daily videos. I've also created a course from my 17 years worth of investing knowledge. I've created a course that thousands of students around the world have taken. You can see many reviews from my students here. It's the Stock Guru Master Course in the link in the description and the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us. If you purchase the course in the next 6 days, one of my students is going to win $1,000 US, which is beautiful. My experience in the market, I started off with $2,000 that my father gave me to kind of gamble in the Forex markets when I was around 15, 16 years old. He just wanted me to have fun, and he was just having fun with gambling. And then I took that $2,000 and I started to exponentially grow it in Forex markets, learning technical analysis, what you're going to see in this video. Then I moved into the stock market. I started buying companies, and that's been my passion ever since. For 17 years, I've been buying stocks in the stock market, buying companies. And one of my friends, Crypto, he's also a big YouTuber, the biggest on crypto and Bitcoin. He told me that I should really show my knowledge when it comes to stocks and investing on YouTube. And that's what I've done for the 11 months. I've been showing what I do normally daily for the last 17 years in the stock market. I've been putting it on video, and that's what you're going to see me do in this video. I also have some good news. We're going to interview Crypto in the next few days, which will be awesome on this channel. So hit the subscribe button, the bell, the thumbs up button so you're notified of these daily videos. And let's jump into the technical analysis for Amazon now. So now we're jumping into the technical analysis for Amazon. We're going on a little bit of a journey. We're going to do technical analysis, what you're about to see here. We're going to go into the news and look at the fundamental analysis, so the real world news, any major news that's going to affect the stock of Amazon. Then we're going to go into the financials of Amazon, look at their revenues, their profits, how much money this company is making. So these are the companies and cryptocurrencies we're currently checking. Crude oil up 5.9% today, so quite a big jump up. Ethereum bouncing back 1,600, 2% up. Dogecoin up 1.8%. I was buying Dogecoin at 3 cents. I made a video. I recommend checking it out after this video. It's called Elon Musk. You'll need to search in YouTube Elon Musk and Stock Guru, and a video is going to come up. Is Elon about to do a mass wealth redistribution using Doge cryptocurrency? If that pans out, it's already up more than around 90% since I made that video. But if it pans out, I'm expecting a 20x, which means a 2,000% gain. So check out that video about Dogecoin. Bitcoin up 1.2%. I made a video on Bitcoin today, a technical analysis with my predictions. I also have a prediction about when Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million per Bitcoin. So watch that video also on the channel. Hit the subscribe button and the bell, the thumbs up so you're notified of these daily videos. The rest of the market is quite flat, slightly in the green. Yesterday, the heavy tech sector, the overbought tech companies, they got hit quite hard, the high growth companies. Across the board, around a 4%, 5% drop. The rest of the market staying relatively even. Etsy was down 9% with taking big hit, plucked down 9%. NEO down 10%, BNGO down 10%, quite a big drop in those companies. Fubo bouncing back 2% today, but we're going to be looking at Amazon on the technicals today, on the charts, and then go into the fundamentals. So we type in Amazon here, AMZN, on the ticker, and then we're going to get, this is the charts for Amazon. Now, everything you're seeing here, it might look a bit complicated, but don't panic. It's actually very easy. I've taught thousands of students how to do this. I'm just going to pause for 1 second just to show you this amazing, amazing sunset, everyone, from my house. Oh, you can't really see it in a little bit. You can see it. Quite amazing, right? Okay, let's jump into the technicals for Amazon. Oh, it's so beautiful, this sunset today. It's summer here, and during summer, the sunsets are quite amazing. I'm currently in an island in Thailand. So, Amazon, so what we're going to look, I've got a very specific strategy that I've been using for 17 years. For 10 years, I've been teaching this strategy to tens of thousands of students around the world. It's using very specific indicators here. So okay, what you're looking at here is technical analysis. Technical analysis you can learn for 5 years in economics degrees, actuaries degrees. It's every Wall Street banker knows this, and you're going to learn it quickly here. There's thousands of indicators you can use, as you can see here, but I'm using very specific ones as I teach in the Stockroom Master course. I'm using RSI, stochastic squeeze mob. I'm using support resistance line, volume, MA cross. So MA cross here, support lines, resistance lines, blue trend lines. So let's jump into this, the way these work. Overall trend, first thing we look at on the monthly candlestick. So we're looking back into Amazon, going back to 2016. The overall trend of Amazon massively trending up. The trend is your friend, and Amazon is very strongly trending up. The trend is your friend. Always remember this. Never go against the trend. Never catch these little movements down, because you could miss this. If say you were trying to short Amazon here and then this happened, it would not be very nice for your portfolio. Same with here. Say you were trying to catch this movement down and then this happened, not nice for your portfolio. So never go against your best friend, and that is the trend. And Amazon's trend is massively trending up. Volume predicts price. Another saying that I teach my students, and we have merchandise coming out for this. Volume predicts price, and you can see that Amazon's volume has just been climbing steadily for the last 4 years. The base of the volume is consistently spiking and trending up. So volume predicts price, the trend is your friend, both indicating that we're going up. Next, we have stochastic and RSI indicators. These ones here, the way these work, RSI above the dotted lines and stochastic above the dotted lines, this company is currently overvalued. Below the dotted lines, undervalued. So as you can see, Amazon has been quite overvalued going back to 2019. It's been in the overvalued nearly the entire time. It was very overvalued in the beginning of 2020, around May and March. And then it dropped down since then. And it kind of went sideways since the COVID pandemic. It didn't have this big explosive movement like a lot of the other tech stocks. During the COVID pandemic in March, it went to a low of 1,626. So it did have 100% gain actually. Amazon has gone up 100% in the last year since COVID pandemic. Overall trend of Amazon massively trending up. Stochastic RSI quite overbought still, but they are under the dotted lines now, and they look like they're starting to turn to head back up. Indicating we could have some movements up in Amazon for the long term. It's not so overbought, but I want to point this out, and this is very important that you learn this and understand this. Whenever the RSI and the stochastic on any asset or cryptocurrency is on the monthly candlesticks, so each of these candlesticks represent 1 month in the market. Whenever the RSI and the stochastic are above the dotted lines, you need to DCA, dollar cost average, DCA. Do not put a lot of capital into Amazon in one go here when the RSI and the stochastic are above the dotted lines. It's very important. Below the dotted lines, it means this company is undervalued, and that's a good time to be putting a lot of capital. Above the dotted lines, it's overvalued, and you need to split it up, your capital, at least over a 10-month period. Meaning if you wanted to put $100,000 into Amazon, I recommend 10 lots of $10,000 each month for 10 months. Splitting up your capital, that's what I teach in the Stockroom Master course, dollar cost averaging. Squeeze mob. Here, squeeze mob was building pressure and building pressure for a movement. As you can see in 2020, it was building a lot of pressure, and we had like a lot of sideways movement for Amazon, as you can see here, when the price was sitting around $2,000, building pressure, and then the pressure exploded out in 2020, and we had this big movement up, and now the pressure is building again on the squeeze mob. So we have volume predicts price, volume quite large on Amazon, overall trend massively trending up. Stochastic RSI not oversold, but still close to the, not overbought, but still close to the overbought. So dollar cost average, squeeze mob building pressure. We have a symmetrical triangle that we had drawn here on the monthly candlesticks for Amazon. The base of the triangle was our targets, but it looks like it's broken out of the symmetrical triangle, unfortunately. So that means Amazon can head downwards on that target, not head up. Normally the way these symmetrical triangles work, they break out to the base of the triangle to the direction of the trend. But in this case, since this recent NASDAQ sell-off, it's trying to push down towards this target. However, to me, it doesn't look like it's doing that. It's trying to stay out of this triangle. It's actually trying to push down, but it had a big spike down to 2,888, and then a full recovery back to 3,182 almost. So what it's telling me, it's trying to get back in this triangle to continue that movement up. But until it does, we respect the trend and respect what's happening on this triangle. And until it gets back into this triangle to move up, then we assume it breaks down to this level here, down 2,600, unless it can get back in that triangle. So let's zoom in and see what's going to happen now for the next few months. But in the next few years, Amazon is very specifically following this blue trend line. The last time we had a moving average cross was there indicating we're moving up, and it has not yet closed. We're also on this blue trend line for Amazon heading up. And remember, as I teach all my students, what you're trying to do here is you're buying Everests and you're making trades on the bottom of the hills as you climb Everest. So you're profiting on the bottom of the hills as you buy companies that are Everest. So think of it, these are the hills, and we're buying Everest, and we're trying to make money on the bottom of these hills before the movement up. And that's what you use technical analysis for, because it teaches you, wow, I have to show you this sunset right now. It is unbelievable. It's just going off the horizon. It's not so, I'll pull up another camera. Okay, now I've pulled up the camera on my phone. Look at that sunset, everyone. Amazing. This is from my villa. I am renting this villa. I've been renting it for around 4 or 5 months. It's just beautiful. These are the sunsets that, if you've been following my channel, usually you're seeing these kind of sunsets nearly every day. But goodbye, sun. It was a beautiful day. Okay, let's jump back into the technicals for Amazon and look on the daily candles. Or should we just wait 3 more seconds as it peaks over the horizon? It's just about to. It's just about to. This phone is amazing, Samsung Galaxy Fold. Goodbye day, what an awesome day. Okay, let's jump back. For most of you, it's still the morning in America. What a sunset. Look at the colors also. Okay, we're back into the technicals for Amazon. So it's climbing up this trend line. This trend line is very secure. It's been climbing on this trend line actually from a very long time. It's been on this trend line since 2016. I would say 2015 April with the MA cross, it's been on this trend line. So for 6 years, Amazon has been climbing this blue trend line, and it is very much sticking with it. Only recently did we have this big movement off it since 2019, but it looks like it's going to come down and just keep going on this trend line. And that's a good thing. By 2028, Amazon could be sitting at $6,000 a share. And that might be sooner if it goes parabolic, which I think Amazon might be doing. So that's what's happening in the long term. Now we click what's happening on the yearly candlesticks. So we zoom in, and now we're much closer. So before we were looking at monthly, each of the candles was 1 month. Now they're 1 day, and we're going to predict what's going to happen to Amazon for the next few weeks and the next few months. So this is us looking, the same indicators are being used. This is us looking at what's going to happen to Amazon going into April, July, April, May, June, July. So this is the movement from Amazon. So again, we had this symmetrical triangle, which was playing out beautifully. Building pressure, and then instead of exploding to the upside, which we were expecting, and we'll hope it would have been a beautiful movement actually for us, because that would have been nearly a 4,000, it would have hit 3,800. Instead, it's broken underneath this triangle with this NASDAQ sell-off. And it went down, spiked down, but it actually held on this support line. So we have a very strong support line here. I'll put that support line in at 2,888. Great buying opportunity actually for Amazon. Since then, it bounced back. This was the MA cross on the daily heading down. And this is the MA cross now heading up. So this is indicating we might be recovering for Amazon. Squeeze mob is building pressure ready for a large movement, and it's building the pressure towards the green side. RSI is only midway and it's climbing up. Stochastic is still climbing up, nearly overbought, but not yet, and still climbing up. So all indicators saying buy volume really large for Amazon. So MA cross heading up. Volume predicts price, huge volume, RSI heading up strongly, stochastic heading up strongly, not yet above the dotted lines overbought, squeeze more building pressure and turning green, all indications that we're going to be heading up for Amazon. It will probably find resistance here at this blue trend line. When Amazon tries to come up, it's going to find resistance at that 322.3 line. if Amazon is able to get up there, it's going to find resistance there. Amazon will also find resistance here, where there was a lot of touches and kind of resistance lines along this line at the 3166. So we have a few resistance that Amazon will have to try and break when it tries to climb up. So these are our targets when it climbs up. And what we really want to see, and we kind of have to see this, everyone, it's very important. Today's candlestick, today's action in the market is actually very important for most of the tech sector. It's a big day for the NASDAQ. Whoa, the colors. Okay, the last time I'm showing the sunset, but it's just the colors here are unbelievable. It's like a work of art. So today is a big day for Amazon, for the tech sector. We need this MA cross, and this is playing out on Tesla, this is playing out on NASDAQ, this is playing out on Apple. It's on a lot of stocks. The same situation is playing out. We need a green candle to come in today, so it opens back this MA cross and starts heading up. If this MA cross crosses again and another cross appears, and it doesn't manage to get above 3147, 3,147, then we do have a confirmation of a possible fall back down to 2881 and a retest of this previous support on that NASDAQ sell-off. And if that happens, it's not a good thing. What we would want to see, if that does play out, unlikely, but it is possible if this does happen and the MA cross crosses down and we have here, we would expect a double bottom here and a bounce to head up. If not, we could really free fall from there, and it would be not nice because of a lot of the tech sector, a lot of the NASDAQ, they won't be able to print. They just printed $1.9 trillion, so they won't be able to print a lot of more money to prop it up, and it could really fall down all the way to 2,300. It is quite possible, but to me, it still looks like it's the confirmation of that will be another red candle and the MA cross, another MA cross, and being resisted at the 3147 and coming down. That will be confirmation of this retest of 2881. But what we want to see today is stochastic RSI head up, volume spike up, squeeze mob go green, and we really want to see us get to 3147 and 3166. And the MA cross opens stronger. If that does happen, then we have a confirmation of the movement continuing up. And it's a very big day for a lot of the tech sector, the NASDAQ, and it's an important moment. So targets for today are, and what we really want to have happen is 3147, target 1, target 2, 3166, and target 3, 3233. Those are the targets for Amazon going into April, May, June, July. And today's candle is a really important one because if it doesn't go green and it goes red even more, we could have an MA cross again crossing to head down to this 2881. But more unlikely this scenario, I think with the amount of money they printed, the 1.9 trillion, that we're going to be heading up to these targets moving up. So that's beautiful. Let's zoom in one more time. We click down here, 3 months, and we're going to go even closer to Amazon, and we're going to look at what's going to happen for today's trading day, the 25th of March, Thursday. We're going to try and predict what's going to happen to the price of Amazon for today. And we're seeing kind of a similar story here. We've got stochastic, I'm just fixing up these lines. We've got volume, overall trend of Amazon massively trending up. We had an MA cross here to head up and an MA cross here to head down, unfortunately. And this is the same thing we're seeing. We really need the next few hours to start heading up into the green and this MA cross again to start heading up. If not, it is a confirmation that we could be falling hard. So we really need to pay attention to this. The RSI is still heading down. Volume is quite strong, but RSI is still heading down. Stochastic heading down, but starting to finish and try to turn up. So we have a few different, one indicator here, MA cross heading down. That's for the downside. That's one indicator. Volume quite strong. That's an indicator for the upside. RSI and stochastic still heading down. So that's two more indicators for the downside. And we have squeeze mob squeezing, building pressure and possibly ready to move, but it's not showing which direction yet. It's just building pressure for a movement. So we've got 3 to the downside and 1 to the upside and 1 unknown at the moment. To me, it looks like Amazon, stochastic is trying to turn to head up. RSI can very much turn to head up and volume can spike up. Squeeze mob can turn green. Today's trading day is a deciding moment, everyone. It's very hard to predict it actually today. As in the longer term timeframes, it's much easier to make technical predictions. As we go down to the hourly candlesticks, the accuracy rate is still quite high, but it does have a lot of fluctuations depending on what Jeremy Powell says, what any news that comes out, stimulus that comes out, what Biden says. Wow, the colors. Okay, one more time, pausing this just because, and I'll show you because the colors. Look at these colors, everyone. Are you glad that I showed you this again? I asked the question last video, look at this, it's like an art piece, right? I've never seen this, the sky's on fire here. And it's not just here, it's like the entire sky. Whoa, look at this. Amazing. Look at the colors of this. I've never seen the colors look like this. This is a very special moment. This guy's on fire. Beautiful. I'm glad I got to watch the sunset with you. This is a special sunset. Maybe we I don't know, make 3 wishes just because it's so beautiful. I wish to become the richest person in the world, super abundant, so I can change the world with my financials and my ideas. Wow, amazing sunset. Okay, let's jump back into the technicals again. It is a work of art. I'm going to also take a picture of this. Everyone, we're taking a picture right now. All few thousand of us, 4,000 people watch this video, and we're all going to have a nice picture of this moment. Okay, let's jump back into the technicals. That had to be one of the, here the sunsets are unbelievably beautiful, but that had to be one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. It's like a masterpiece of art. Everyone, I have a few friends over right now, they're all watching it right now. Amazing. Okay, let's jump back in. So today, it's looking like Amazon can turn either way, but what we really want, it's very hard to predict it on the hourlies today. My gut is telling me that we're going to turn up because they printed this 1.9 trillion. If not, and we have a confirmation and a break of this 281, it's just very difficult for Jeremy Powell, for the US tech sector. It's just going to be a brutal kind of moment. And I also see that we're making higher lows. Do you see that? Every time we're coming down, we're making higher lows. This is a bullish pattern. It's actually quite bullish that we're making high lows. We can also put these trend lines in. I'll turn on the magnet. We can draw in these trend lines. So 1 point on the trend line here, 1 point on the trend line there. So we've got, here is the trend that we're following. It's quite actually a little bit lower. It would be there. So to me, it looks like Amazon is going to keep going on this trend line. The trend is your friend. It's going to come down a little bit more, bounce off this line here, this blue line, which will be sitting at, on today's open, will be 3,080. Come down there, then bounce off there, and the stochastic and RSI will turn up. Stochastic turn up, RSI turn up, volume will spike in, squeeze mob release to the green side, and this is what we want, and we really want another MA cross, this yellow cross, to happen again and to head up. If not, it could be painful for the US stock market. If that happens, I also see another pattern that will be forming, which is very bullish. It will be an ascending wedge, which you can kind of see here with this yellow trend line. So see there, here to here. That's the top of the wedge, so I'll get rid of that yellow target, so we could just, so that blue trend line will be the top of the wedge, and usually the way these work, they break out to the base of the wedge, so that would be the base, and I'll make it a yellow target line. So usually the way these work, it's ascending wedge, they go with the direction of the trend, it's ascending, so this is the wedge, this is the base of the wedge, and usually we have a movement to the upside with the trend. It gets tighter, 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 builds pressure, and then explodes to the upside. So if that does play out, the targets for Amazon for this trend, this wedge, would be, let's move this target across, would be very close to our original target, also 3,333, which would be beautiful if that plays out. So that's what we've got for targets, and this is what I'm expecting to happen to Amazon, more than likely. Again, on these hourly candles for Amazon today, it is quite difficult to exactly predict because there's a lot of different indicators showing different things, but it's building pressure more than likely, and by April, exploding up. And I did see that also by Tesla. I saw that on Tesla by the end of March, that we could have a new all-time high for Tesla. It's very important today, everyone, today's moment across the tech sector for Tesla, for Amazon, for the NASDAQ, it's a very, very important moment today. What we need on all the tech stock is them to climb up and keep climbing up today and hold above this, these kind of supports that are across the board on the tech sector. It's a very important moment. And that's more than likely what I'm seeing. The squeeze mob is going to explode to the green side, stochastic head up, RSI head up, volume spike up, and us going up to target 13147, target 2, this blue trend line bouncing down and then moving up like this. So target 2 on this time frame for today's trading day will be this blue trend line 3147. So target 1, 3147, target 2, 3174. Funny, the numbers match. Target 1, so bouncing off and going up like that, which is beautiful. So let's jump into Twitter now to see if there's any major news for Amazon, and then we're going to go into the financials of Amazon. Again, everything you see here, I teach in the Stockroom Mastercourse, which will teach you exact. So here, this would be an exact time to buy a stock. Stochastic oversold, and this is what you'll learn in the Stockroom Mastercourse. The exact prices, when to be buying and selling your stocks, when to be buying and selling your cryptocurrencies, when to be buying and selling your options. and you're going to learn on the technicals the exact prices when you'll be buying and selling. And that's what I teach in the Stock Guru Master course in the description, the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us. And if you buy the course in the next 6 days, you're going the chance to win 1,000 USD. Any student that takes the course in the next 6 days goes in the chance. I'm going to allocate 1,000 USD. I'm going to choose one student as a winner for this 1,000 USD, which will be beautiful. So they have my knowledge, then they have 1,000 USD of capital. Someone's going to get that, and then we'll see how they do in the stock market. So to me, it does look like Amazon's going to head up, stochastic RSI volume, build up pressure in this, and then explode to the upside, which is beautiful. So let's jump into my Twitter now, and I'm going to show a price before here. Support line, this was when to be buying your stock. This is what you learn in the Stock Guru Master course. On this support line, 2881, volume spiking, huge volume, stochastic oversold, turning to head up, RSI oversold, turning to head up, squeeze mob, squeezing, building pressure towards the green side, all indications of a buy. And why technical analysis is so powerful, all the Wall Street bankers know this. Everyone you're versing in the stock market, all my students who've taken the Stock Guru Master course know this. So what happens is they see this, they put their buy orders here because they see these conditions being met. They put their buy orders here, the price comes down, their buy orders trigger, and you catch a move from 2881 to nearly 3,174, which is around a almost a $300 movement, which is a 10% movement in Amazon in just 2 weeks, and you would have known to buy right there. So let's jump into my Twitter now. So now we're in my Twitter. To follow me on Twitter, type Stock Guru. And then I'm going to come up, my name, make sure my name matches. And I've got a lot of copycats, everyone around all social networks. So make sure this, everything matches here. James, J-A-M-Y-I-E-S, Stock Guru, and this pictures, because I have a lot of copycats on all social networks. Be wary of this. I'm not going to give you my WhatsApp and ask for you to call me or anything like this. I'm not going to ask you for money. I want to point this out. There's a lot of stories and a lot of scams going around. Please make sure my Twitter matches. I'm only going to communicate using this Twitter, and make sure my YouTube channel matches the one you hit the subscribe button, the bell, the thumbs up button. So don't, no other channels that are other scammers. And I'm not going to contact you by WhatsApp and ask you for selling the master course or anything like this. So what we can do here and why it's so powerful. So this is my Twitter. This is just some of the information I've been sharing. So here, Bitcoin, stocks, inflation, rocket ship. Join the Stock Guru Master course, www.stockguru.us. We have a members chat room, 24/7 live chat room at chat.stockguru.us. Why you need to join this chat room, we have 16 millionaires in there that we know of, 6 multimillionaires. Some of my close friends are in there, Pan's in there with 6 million, Alan's in there with a few million. And we're talking investments and trading. It's a Slack chat room, so you have it on your phone, your laptop, and we're talking investments, trading during market hours. Here you can just see hundreds of reviews of the Stock Guru Master course. Nicole saving $91,000, 90% gains. You can just see hundreds of reviews from students, many making $2 million, paying off mortgages, paying off houses, cars, buying $2 million houses. Amazing heartfelt stories in here. Check them out for my students. Elon Musk's talking about Dogecoin, another tweet about Dogecoin, which is bullish. Every time you stress, go back to your breath. If life was always amazing fun, time would move very quickly and your life would feel like it ended. Quickly without much time for contemplation. This is the China stock market was down quite a bit. Baidu falling 9%, Alibaba down 6%. Tesla this was very bullish news for Bitcoin, everyone. I made a video on this, how urgent this was. Yesterday I made Tesla Elon Musk video. Tesla using only internal open source. The main news is Bitcoin paid to Tesla will be retained as Bitcoin, not converted to fiat currency. This is the richest man in the world, one of the biggest top 10 companies in the world, and he's talking about their products when they're bought by Bitcoin. He will not convert that back into USD. He will keep it as Bitcoin, which is very bullish for Bitcoin. It means a lot of buying pressure is going to be coming into Bitcoin from any Bitcoin person that buys Teslas. So this is what I said. Keep in mind, everyone, Elon Musk said fiat USD currency is like it's a bad thing, that Tesla is going to keep all Bitcoin purchases of Tesla cars in Bitcoin. This is one of the biggest companies in the world, one of the richest men in the world. Bitcoin rocket ship, congratulations. This is just information I've been sharing. This is Crypto, a good friend of mine, Chris. I'm going to interview him on the channel in the next few days. He broke the news also a day ago when Elon tweeted it. And yes, this is just stuff I've shared. Make sure to follow me so you can see a lot of information. And what you can also do is we can type in Amazon, but we need to type in $AMZN, because if we type in just the word Amazon, we're going to get a lot of news that's not just associated with the stock. So $AMZN, I teach you what this means in the Stock Guru Master course. It's the ticker for your stock. So Tesla not coming up. So we're looking for any major news for Amazon. And why Twitter is so powerful is you can follow me up here. You can follow the CEOs of companies. You can follow Elon Musk. You can follow Tim Cook. And wow, now the sky is red. Amazing. And you can get information sorted by the top news even before news agencies do, because you're following the CEOs. It's amazingly powerful. So now we're trying to find any major information that's going to affect the stock of the Amazon stock. So ARK bought 2 million shares of no buying of Amazon. So this is ARK's trade on the 22nd, 2 days ago. Did they buy any Amazon? No. No buying of Amazon. They bought Tesla, PayPal, etc., etc. This guy pointed out a head and shoulders reversal head and shoulder pattern 1 day ago, inverted head and shoulders, which is very bullish. He pointed that out on the hourly candlesticks. Interesting. I didn't see that pattern. I didn't notice it just then, which is very bullish pattern, everyone. So a normal head and shoulders pattern is shoulder, head, shoulder, break down to the downside. Reverse head and shoulder pattern is shoulder, head, shoulder, big break up to the upside. And his targets are in play of 3,270 on the hourly candles. And that's a good prediction. Nice. So that's the major news for Amazon. Let's now jump into, we'll jump into my broker to see the financials of Amazon. So now we're in my broker, Charles Schwab. I really do recommend Charles Schwab. They're the biggest brokerage account in the world. They're a publicly traded company in the New York Stock Exchange. They're an American company. If you are American, you don't need a minimum for Charles Schwab brokerage account. You can open it with no minimum. It does, if you're American, no minimum. If you're international, you do need a 25,000. I just want to make sure the mic isn't being touched by my shirt, because last time people complained about that. If you're not Americans, no minimum, and if you have a Charles Schwab bank account, you can open it almost instantaneously, your broker, to buy stocks. If you're international, you do need a $25,000 minimum in your account. I teach you the best brokers for you in your country in the Stock Guru Masterclass, link in the description, the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us. And don't forget, if you purchase the Stock Guru Masterclass in the next 6 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD tuition one of my students is going to have, just like I've done on Christmas, on New Year's, on the 1st of February, I gave 5,000 USD. Many times, which is beautiful. Amazon Inc., the ticker AMZN, and the NASDAQ. In the Stock Guru Masterclass, I also teach you how to read your this step-by-step in video tutorials. I teach you how the brokerage account works, how this works, and how to buy stocks in your broker. I teach you step-by-step the buttons to press. So last price, $3,087 for Amazon, and that's the power of the stock market, everyone. The prices are not capped. Amazon is $3,000 and $3,087 a share. Berkshire and Hathaway is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars a share. So it's very powerful. Stocks are not capped. So $3,087, the bid, what people are willing to buy the stock for. Amazon, $3,080. The ask, what people are willing to sell the stock for, $3,084. C rating by Charles Schwab Equity, $575 in April 2016, high of $3,500, and now sitting at $3,000. So it's about a 6x in about 5 years, 6x, 600% gain in 5 years. Overall trend of Amazon, massively trending up. The trend is your friend. Average shares being traded per day, 3 million shares, which is quite high because Amazon's valuation is so big. It's 3 million shares being traded at $3,000 a share. It's quite a big amount of money being moved with Amazon. I could calculate it, actually. What would that be? 3? Okay, we'll do that. It's not so important. So here, volume. Volume predicts price. Huge volume for Amazon, but consistent. I wouldn't say it's really spiking right now. It seems to be just consistently large volume. The earnings per share, amazing, amazing. $41 earnings per share. Amazing. Price to earnings ratio. What does this mean? PE ratio. The price 3,087 divided by the earnings 41 equals the premium that you're paying on the price compared to its earnings. So you're paying a 73-time premium on the earnings, on the price of the stock compared to its earnings per share. To put that in perspective, Warren Buffett taught me 20 times is the golden ratio, 20 times PE ratio. Why? Because you want to be buying a company that people are willing to pay 20 times the PE ratio because they believe this company in the future will be a lot more, so they're already paying a premium for it. But it's unlike Amazon, it's not so high, that premium. Normally 20 times is much, now we're 73 times. So whenever the PE ratio is above 20 times, I really recommend a DCA strategy. Forward PE ratio next year, much better. Amazon is expecting to make more revenues next year, 46-time PE ratio. Overall trend though is still massively trending up. The trend is your best friend. Volume predicts price, big volume, $1.6 trillion valuation. Amazon has 57% shares held by institutions. And everyone, I know I'm talking very quickly. Futures rise as jobless claims expected to edge lower. Good news for us. This is in the morning. This is news headlines right now. So futures are rising. IBM's Red Hat OpenShift service launches on Amazon Web Services. Amazon and Red Hat announced general availability of Red Hat OpenShift services on AWS, Amazon's Web Services. Very bullish about that product. Intel gains on $20 billion chip expansion. I've been buying a lot of Intel. So that's the major news for Amazon. All access pass to the $1 trillion club. Interesting. So Amazon is one of the $1 trillion club. So these are the ratings by Charles Schwab. Equity rating, a C rating by Charles Schwab. Outperform credit research. Ned Davis is a neutral. Argus, which I'm normally aligned with, Argus analyst report, is a buy. CFR rating is a buy, and CFR Reuters research is a outperform buy. So most analysts are saying buy this stock, and one analyst and Charles Schwab is saying neutral. So that's beautiful. Let's go now into the financial statements, and we're going to look at the fundamental analysis. I'm the only teacher that in the Stock Guru Mastercourse teaches technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Technical analysis, the charts you saw before. Fundamental analysis, the financials. And I teach you in a much slower pace here, but we're going to read them relatively quickly. Here is the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement. So what we're looking for is four main ticks here. We're looking for huge revenues, huge year-on-year revenue growth, huge profit margins, and huge amounts of cash. That's what we're looking for when we do a fundamental analysis. So revenues, total revenue, 135 million. This is values are in millions. So this is $135 billion in 2016. $135 billion of sales in 2016. Then 2017, 177 billion. 2018, 232 billion. 2019, 280 billion. And during the COVID pandemic, everyone, it went from $280 billion in sales, Amazon, to $386 billion in sales. During the COVID pandemic in 2020, they made an extra $106 billion. Amazon made an extra $106 billion from 2019 to 2020 during the COVID pandemic. Nearly a 25% increase in their revenues. Unbelievable. Amazing, amazing. So and the price didn't move up to match this big jump up in valuation. So it's amazing. So four boxes tick, huge revenues, $386 billion, more than 1/3 of $1 trillion they're making in sales. Amazing. This is one of the highest revenues of any company. To put that in perspective, Apple's revenues for 2020 was something like $280 billion. So Amazon is smashing Apple, the biggest company in the world. So I believe Amazon is very undervalued based off these revenues. Amazing, amazing. So tick, huge revenues, tick, 386 billion. Huge revenue growth, tick, 280 billion to 386 billion, $100 billion gain in 1 year during COVID, tick. Now when looking for huge profit margins, how much of that 386 billion did they convert into profits? We come down here and they converted $21 billion net income after tax into profits. $21 billion. So that's around a 10% of that would be 38 billion. So it's around a 22% profit margin. No, it's around a 10% profit margin. 10% of that would be 38 billion. So 21 billion is around a 6% profit margin. 6% profit margin. So that's not amazingly high, but that was during COVID. Let's see what it was the year before. So 280 billion in sales, and they kept $11 billion in profits. So around the same 6% profit margin. So it is a tick. Huge revenues, huge year-on-year revenue growth, and still good profit margin. 6%, not amazing. Not like Amazon, not like Facebook, Apple, Google, where they have nearly 30% profit margins. But this is a retail kind of selling retail products, selling. It's like a shopping center, Amazon. So their profit margins are usually much lower for kind of shopping centers compared to tech companies. But I believe this profit margin will really increase the next few years when Amazon starts making a lot of its revenues from its Amazon's web services and other online products. So ticking that box on the expectation, it's still good, 6% profit margins on that kind of turnover, amazing, but it can be improved and it can get to 10, 20%. I believe 10% is doable because a lot of their products are going to be tech products. The last thing we're looking for is huge cash power. So let's look at Amazon's cash. We go up here to look at the cash flow statements of Amazon. Now we're looking for net change in cash. So net cash in 2020, end balance reserve for future use. Amazon had $42 billion in cash. $42 billion in cash, everyone. So tick. So huge revenues, tick. Huge year-on-year revenue growth, tick. Large profit margin, 6%, but improving, tick, on amazing turnover, and huge amounts of cash. One of the biggest cash piles in the world, $42 billion in cash to keep expanding, to keep growing, to keep buying competitors. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's jump into a summary now of Amazon. So now we're going to have a summary of Amazon on technical timeframes. All timeframes, Amazon is massively trending up. The trend is your best friend. Never forget this. Amazon is trending up. Those exact targets, and it does look very bullish for Amazon, especially with these revenues. I'm very, very impressed with those revenues, especially during 2020, and I'm very bullish Amazon after seeing those revenues. So the technicals are going up on all timeframes. Those targets are intact, and I do believe Amazon is going to go down up to the $4,000 range in the long term. Those targets that I showed you in the technical analysis. On the fundamental side of things, Amazon is ticking all boxes. Huge revenues, huge year-on-year revenue growth, good profit margins, and massive amounts of cash, ticking all 4 boxes. On the fundamental side of things, Amazon is also a buy. On the technicals, Amazon is a buy. Combined, I do rate Amazon a buy. What an amazing company, what amazing revenues, and amazing pivot and growth during COVID pandemic. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned a lot. I made an I made a technical analysis video. When is Bitcoin going to hit $1 million? I've got exact targets and date for that. I made a video. Hit the subscribe button, the bell, the thumbs up button to be notified of that video. When is Bitcoin going to hit $1 million per Bitcoin? I've got exact targets. Also, I've got exact targets for today for Bitcoin and what's going to be happening for the next few days, the next few months, the next few weeks. And when is Bitcoin going to hit $1 million of Bitcoin? I'm also going to make a technical analysis video on Tesla today. You can see my live YouTube membership trade. So I have a YouTube membership. You can see it there, the YouTube membership. If you on your phone, there's a subscribe button, there's a join button. If you join it there, you'll see my limit. Every time I make a trade in my portfolio, whenever I sell a stock, buy a stock, or make a trade, you'll see my limit order, my targets for my trade, my reasons for my trade, and my stop loss, and my kind of report about why I'm buying that stock. And usually I'm targeting my trades to be at good technical entry, so I'm profiting as soon as I enter the trade. You can see the YouTube membership section there, and it goes excellently well with the Stock Guru Master Course. So while you're learning my technique that tens of thousands of students have learned and made them so much money in the market, you can also follow my live trades so you're learning while you're watching my trades in my portfolio. So this is James from Stock Guru. Have a beautiful trading day. Let's make a lot of money in the market, and I'll see you again tomorrow.